You're just both pretending to have a brat summer. That's what this is.
What is that? I don't understand.
Know. Thank God you said it. What the fuck is it?
Bro, I don't know what it is at all.
What the fuck is a brat summer?
I just seen everybody say it.
Everybody keeps saying brat summer. I don't know what the fuck is going on. And I'm scared.
Is it like a sexual brat? Is that what they mean?
I think it's like being like a boss ass bitch or some shit. But like just not giving a fuck, but young people not giving a fuck. I think that's what it means.
They're saying Kamala Harris is a brat?
I think anything's a brat that is like fly and or like anti-establishment sexy, if that makes sense.
Kamala is a cop. I don't fight. I don't argue. I just hit that bitch with a bottle. Welcome, little mamas and Gentiles alike, to another phenomenal episode of My Momma Told Me.
You almost forgot the name, the podcast, where we dive deep into the pockets of black conspiracy theories.
And we finally work to prove that Ray Gun from the Olympics is in fact a sleeper cell. Do the math, brothers and sisters. Rachel Gunn is an anagram for nigga run. My name is David Gborie.
I'm Langston Kerman, and I beg you, don't try to spell those words out the way that David is suggesting.
Don't do it. That's what they want you to do.
That's what they want you to do. That's how you trap yourself. Just trust us. When my man says that it's nigga run, it's nigga run.
Are we or are we not your primary news source? Then treat us with such respect.
Listen, we know who you go to first. You still are on Don Lemon's YouTube. But after that, you come over here.
Man, I would love to see how we've polluted all our fans' algorithms.
Yeah. Do you think we could get Don Lemon on the show now?
Man.
Now that he's like, a man without a job and sort of a little shamed, do you think he would come over here and fuck with us?
I think that we could get a lot. I think that, you ever heard this say, somebody told me this regards to myself once, and I think this about our podcast in general. Somebody was like, how did he say it? He was like, you're supposed to be soaring with eagles, but you're flying with pigeons. I think we could get eagles on here. I think we could go up.
I agree. I think maybe that is the initiative we need to start taking, is really going. And I think I want our fans to know that when we say Eagles, it's not always the Eagles you have in mind.
No, not at all.
We want some silly Eagles on this show.
I mean, to me, Lil Scrappy is an eagle.
And boy, does he shine bright up in that sky. Come on. I think a young jock. I think if we're going down that train, that's an eagle I'd happily fly with.
If we get young jock, my hair, I'm putting the relaxer in. I'm taking the whole box out.
Come on, bro. Why would we not wear matching wigs with young
that
jock?
Would be nice. You still got the Terrence Howard wig?
Fuck. Do I still got it? So here was my plan with the Terrence Howard wig.
I love that there was a plan.
I was going to buy, because you get all this merch from various places, right?
Right.
Shows you participate in, things,
comedy
collections.
Clubs.
Yeah, I was going to buy a full mannequin, right? And I was going to dress the mannequin in a collection of various projects that I had been a part of, including the Terrence Howard wig.
I like that.
It's a fun idea.
That's a good idea.
And then I looked at my home. And I thought about my family and the children and my wife and how we've spent money now trying to get a decorator to make this place look like a decent home. And I thought about what that meant to decide to clutter our home with a mannequin of my wigs and bullshit. And I was like, this isn't right. I can't do it.
That's tough. That's why you need some kind of a garage. You could be a garage dad.
I'd like that.
You know what I mean?
I'd like to either be a garage dad or leave my family completely. I think those
are a choice many a man has faced.
Yeah, I either need a garage or I need to move into a motel, but I can't keep doing both.
Right, that's fair. You don't have a garage?
No, we have this ADU now, which kind of is.
Oh, damn.
But which is nice. It's cool. Like we have a bigger space, but it also is a space that's meant to have like a social quality to it. That
right.
When you're a garage dad, you could just be in there tinkering and nobody even that's just your area. Nobody wants nothing to do with it.
Bro, and by tinkering, you mean smoking weed. I had a friend whose dad smoked weed in the garage. We would go out there to sell him weed. He would just he would just be out there smoking weed.
You were his source?
Everybody kind of gave
Oh,
him
okay.
some.
Anybody could sell him weed. He wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't like a big secret. But then sometimes he'd be in the house and he would be like, I remember he'd come up to you and be like, come out to the garage. I got some shit that's phenomenal. Yeah, he was a garage dad / chiropractor. Complicated guy.
Those guys make me sad because when you flip it, that's just an old man hanging out with boys and being like, "Well, this is who I have near me right now."
Boys,
you teenagers want to get high and and learn the difference between pregnant and not pregnant pussy. You want to?
But shout out to those guys that's when I started to understand what lame adults were. Where you're like, oh, you get high with me. I'm 15. That's lame. It's the same with like when I was in high school. I always knew that the older guys who had high school girlfriends were losers too. I was like, but you could be at a club or a place to pick up a regular woman, and you came to the high school. You must be a loser. Like you need to be able to vet out those losers early in your life.
I'll say this: I didn't have that foresight, and I wish I had, but I'd be lying to you if I knew they were losers when I was in high school. I think I legitimately was like, because they always had in my mind the baddest chick that everybody wanted. And so in my mind, it was just like, damn, they just got it. You know what I mean? Like they just got the one. So how could I call them anything but great?
I was always aware because it's like they're coming back to high. Like I didn't want to be at high school. I ditched all the time and I had to be there. Why would you show up if you did? Like, we had this one girl who she was like kind of like the prettiest girl in our class or whatever. And she brought her boyfriend who was like 20 or something like that to homecoming senior year. I remember thinking like, ooh, what? You could be out in the world.
Here's what I'll say though. By the time I got to like junior, senior year, I understood that.
Okay, so you picked,
Eventually I picked it up. But when you're a freshman and you just see like, you know, this super senior hanging out with the baddest chick you've ever seen in your life, it sort of is like, oh man, that's the greatest guy. And then you get older and you're like, no, I think I'm going to go a little further than you went, big dog. I think this isn't going to keep being the pond I fish in after things are done.
I always thought high schoolers were losers. I remember when I was a freshman, there was a bunch of seniors who were football players and they would call themselves the Mad Dogs. I was like, you guys are losers. This is for, I don't even care if you went damn near to state. This is for losers.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll say this, and I still feel passionately about this. I think anybody, adult or otherwise, who gives themselves like a group name, loser to me.
Damn, how do we feel about fraternities, Langston? Let's open it up.
You want to know my honesty, Archer?
Yeah.
And we got to be careful. A lot of our listeners are members
Black
of the Divine Nine. Yeah, we want to be respectful. I fully recognize why people value fraternities and sororities. I understand what those relationships represent and the meaningful contributions you feel you're making by joining those organizations. I recognize the history and the value of that history. All of those things are true. That said, that shit lame to me.
Olivia says, don't talk about the Kappas, all cap. Bow, wow, wow. I don't even know what she means by that. Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just not for me. I think it's maybe the best answer for it.
Yeah, you're too much of a cynic. Me too. Me too.
I assume you feel the same way.
Yeah, I think everything's lame. So it's like, you're not going to get me in a club.
No, I remember me and my best friend in college, we went to one meeting for the Kappas where we
for real?
There was like an older dude, a couple older dudes who were like, yo, I think y'all should come. I think y'all should you know what I mean? Like, get to know us. We would like to start communicating with you at the possibility of you pledging, that kind of energy.
Right, like a feeler, like a...
Yeah, a little mixer type situation, but just a bunch of niggas on the couch getting spoken to poorly.
It's like, I could do this at home.
Yeah, I was like, there was one point where they were like explaining what we would have to do if someone ever knocked on the door, and it was like, it had to do with taking shirts off and running upstairs and shit, and it was like, oh man, I ain't built for this, bro. That's not even...
And you know the fucked up thing about this whole thing? I also think they're kind of nerds. I like the stuff that is nerdy about them. I think it's cool to dance with your friends in public in unison.
I think it looks fucking awesome every time they do it.
I think that's the coolest shit ever.
I think it's
so many times. I tried to hit my girl with the secret handshake just last night.
Listen, there are parts of it that I'm deeply jealous of.
Yeah.
The dancing. The handshakes,
cool. The uniform, like they're all where they got like the security jackets, Yeah.
And
the cane. The cane.
These niggas are gonna be so mad at us when this episode is over. I'm sorry. But it does look cool, but then the other parts of it, when you yell at me or make me memorize history, I don't give a fuck. I just can't do it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be interested.
But the dancing, keep that shit up.
I'm rooting for you.
I think that's cool. Stomp the yard.
Come on. We know they were pretending to be alphas. Come on. We all know.
I like it. It's just not for I'm barely on a team. That's the funny thing about what we do. People think comedy is a team, and it's like, I hate these dudes.
Yeah, no. I defend anybody's right to go be funny somewhere, and I'm passionate about that, and so I will sometimes be silent on moral issues as it relates to a position where someone is challenging a comedian. I cannot bring myself to unearth the art that I do by rooting against comics out loud in front of strangers, but privately, please understand.
Yeah.
I do not respect most of the people in our industry.
I think it's a stupid thing to do. I can't believe I'm still keeping the plate spinning, to be honest. Greatest lick I ever hit.
Bro, I just did a meeting this morning. I swear to God, this is true. I did a meeting where the person, I was talking to them and I was telling them I started in poetry and for a while thought that was going to be my route, was being this poet, and they all laughed. I was like, but yeah, and in a weird way that I've never thought about, I got defensive. And I was like, poetry? Yeah, but y'all, we do this. So it's all made up. The fuck are we talking about? And they were like, yeah, no, you're right. And it's like, no, wait a minute. You're not going to it's all stupid.
The thing is, there's so much more money in this. You could have been poet laureate and you would not make as much money as you make right now.
Yeah. I mean, I would have to be poet laureate and then get some insane professor tenure where, they're just gonna, lock
But
me
even how
in
much does that
forever
pay?
and always.
You got to live on campus? That's trash.
I bet there are some professors that are millionaires from the shit, right?
I don't think so.
No, you don't think there's any
you think there's 7-figure professors?
I do.
Where? How many could you have on staff?
I think about like a Cornell West, who, you know, for years I think he was Princeton, right? He was
right. I thought Harvard, or he went to Harvard.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those. He was an Ivy League professor as well as sort of this public figure, and I bet they had to break him off some insane amount of change.
He got
to
a bag,
keep him.
He did not fix his teeth. Let me look up his network.
No. Brother, he didn't even touch him.
Which is kind of, I like that too.
It's never even occurred to him to fix anything on his physical form. And in that way, it does make me believe what he's saying more.
Oh yeah, 100%, bro. You're not gonna like this. And keep in mind that they say that these celebrity net worth websites greatly exaggerate.
Sure.
Because I've checked mine. It's they got your man at 600K.
Do you want to say, are we taking the over or the under? What are we doing?
No, I mean, I'm telling you right now, they got him at 600,000.
Oh, that's Cornel West is 600,000?
Yeah.
For his celebrity net worth? They lie about it. They respect him that little?
Yeah, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, man.
Because they'll just make up any number. They'll be like, yeah, he about $5 million.
They say his salary is $32,000 a month, which I've hit that before.
Yeah, that's not.
It's not unattainable. You got people on your street who make that.
That's not 40 years famous. You know what I mean? Like, he's been famous a long time.
But to be fair, I could 600,000 a year. I'm good. I make a good life out of that.
No, that's a great life.
I got a small nut.
Yeah. Damn. Well, 600. Okay, that's what he's getting a year. That's not what you're saying is his worth.
It says net worth. It says net worth in 2024, 600,000, but it also says salary 32,000 a month. So that's kind of confusing, huh?
No, because maybe they're just saying like he's got overhead that keeps him lingering right around 600K.
Yeah, that's what it says. As of August 2024, he earned somewhere around 32,000 per month, and to date, his total net worth is estimated to be somewhere around 600,000. That means he hasn't been making 32K a month for a long time.
Damn, we gotta get Cornel West on the podcast so he can get that.
Ball on this nigga, bro. Hello, Dr. West.
Stupid ass.
Oh, I'm sorry. My nose is running.
Look at all this money, you old broke bitch.
Tell me how the establishment is keeping you down.
Is peace and love gonna solve our problems, you broke motherfucker?
I do think he's great. I feel like sometimes people can't tell what we think on the show.
I don't know that I think he's great, but I do respect what he's built. Yeah, he's built something, and sometimes I think that's all that matters. It's real hard to build something out here. You know what I mean? And like,
man, for real,
he went crazy and built something. That's cool.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, we have a conspiracy. I think we should take a break. I think maybe we take a break, and then when we come back, we can do the conspiracy we talked about ahead of time.
That's perfect.
Hell yeah. So we're going to take a break. We'll be back with more David, more Langston, more My Momma Told Me.
Trust me, daddy.
We are back. We are discussing, we're about to get to our topic right now. Langston's got it for us loaded up. And Langston, I will say, when you told me about this, immediately piqued my interest.
Yeah, you didn't even, you showed no, and I mean this not in a discouraging way, you would not even give a moment of extra curiosity to it because of your commitment to wanting to find out more in the raw episode.
That's exactly it. That's exactly how it happened.
It was a very exciting exchange. The conspiracy that I read from another comedian, a gentleman named Mike Racine, who is very, very funny and also very, very toxic on the internet, posted a a conspiracy I'd never heard before. Never in my life had I heard this conspiracy, and it chilled me to my bones. I'll say that. The conspiracy, it gave me a shudder immediately, and basically, I won't give you the long runaround about it, but he basically suggested My Momma Told Me.
Barack Obama had Bernie Mac assassinated.
Let's talk about it, because something obviously happened. First of all.
Okay, say more.
I think we all know that Bernie went. There was no rhyme or reason. It was not his time. You want to know the truth, Langston?
Yeah.
That shit fucked me up so bad. Oftentimes, I forget that he's dead.
Honestly, I do too.
Okay.
More than most celebrities who are not here anymore, he is the one that I think stands out the most, where I'm like, Bernie Mac ain't dead. Oh, Bernie Mac is dead.
Yeah,
and
it just didn't.
Has been for some time now.
It just didn't fit. It just didn't fit. Michael Jackson, it fit. Even Prince, I was like, all right, he's dead. But like Bernie Mac, none of it. He seemed to be in decent health. Did he die of diabetes?
Yeah, no, no. No, he, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, died of a lung condition that he had. And it was a pre-existing condition that just came on him. Sarcoidosis. That pronunciation, I'm sure, is not correct, but that's what I got for you.
Okay.
But it was brought on by pneumonia. That like he got sick with pneumonia, and he already had this pre-existing lung condition, and it just took him out immediately.
Damn. At least he died in Chicago, though.
Yeah. If you gotta die in Chicago.
Do you feel like as a Chicagoan that it hurts you worse?
No, I wouldn't say that. I think by the time he died, I was not in the city the same way. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't that same, like he wasn't of the city in that same way, and I wasn't in the city in that same way. But he is very Chicago. He's so synonymous with Chicago and the Chicago comedy scene that it hurt. You know what I mean? Like huge, but it didn't feel like exceptional in my personal experience.
Interesting.
It just felt like, damn, one of the gods died. You know what I mean? One of the best to ever do it is no longer.
Well, as a dark-skinned fella, it was probably our worst dark-skinned loss to date.
Really?
Yeah,
Chadwick?
I mean him. I'm trying to think who else was kind of a harder hit for like my age.
Chadwick? That didn't do anything for you?
Listen, man, if I was going to relate to a dude, it wasn't going to be Chadwick Boseman. You know what we were just talking about? This shit? That guy wouldn't even like me, bro.
See, that's where I disagree. I actually think Chadwick would have been pretty cool with you. I think he would have fucked with you. Yeah, I think he liked comedy. I think he liked it so much he knew to stay away from it. You know what I mean?
Oh, that could be it. I mean, it's also though, like, who knows if I don't know if Bernie Mac would have liked me.
I don't think Bernie Mac would have liked me.
Is that the hard thing about doing comedy, black comedy specifically, where you're like, man, I don't think Corey Holcomb wants to say anything to me.
Dog, I'll be honest with you, with black comedians, half the time I pray they don't know I exist, because the feeling I would have for so many of my heroes not liking my personality it's devastating. That shit hurts, man. And so it's almost like a weird, cowardly little hiding in my turtle shell of like, if y'all don't know I'm over here, then I don't ruffle your feathers, and I get to continue to let you be the hero you are in my brain. You know what I mean?
Right. But like, I want some more to want to be friends with me.
it's scary because I know she ain't gonna like me.
She's not gonna like me either.
I just know we ain't gonna really hit it off like that.
Yeah.
And that sucks. I'd love for some more to like me.
I would love for some more to do this podcast. Maybe she will.
Maybe.
There's nothing worse than a black comedian who doesn't want to do the podcast.
Yeah.
Being on a podcast. Oof.
Yeah. No, it's rough. But
anyway,
listen, we've had a few of them come on here with that personality and some of our worst episodes.
It's been a long time, though, since we had somebody who didn't seem like they liked it.
Yeah. I think I used to experience it more when it was just me.
Because it's just you and they're like, because they have to come to us. So me and you have a rapport and we're clearly having a good time. I feel like that does break down a lot of boundaries.
Yeah, if somebody's dry or not like into it, we'll riff around them and it will be fine. But like when it's just you and another person playing one-on-one and they ain't giving you nothing.
And you're like, I've done some research.
Okay, we're gonna take a break and
we'll be back with
I wasn't gonna name a name.
Oh,
I'm glad you named one that hasn't been on here. Just know some of your friends, your faves, are hard to talk to.
Yeah, we should. That's why we got to get some athletes. I think we stay away from entertainment because entertainers are all freaks. You're all freaks. That's why you do this, because you're a fucking freak. You can pretend to be relatable and you get $1 million, but you're a weirdo. Yeah, you want to put on makeup and fake clothes for money. It's weird.
Yeah, it's odd. It's an odd
weirdo
choice.
job.
And I thank God every day that the job exists, but it's odd. And I'm odd and you're not better than us. So either come be funny or we'll talk to Ron Artest.
Who will be funny.
He'll be funny.
He'll be funny as hell. I love Ron Artest.
Yeah, Meta World Peace. Let's not.
Yeah, you're right. I respect.
Let's not disrespect the man.
I would have any athlete besides Steph Curry, to be honest.
Whoa, no Steph?
He's not fun.
No,
he's a great basketball player.
But just out of respect, I would have Steph.
Yeah,
I'm not claiming he's a fun guy.
I would have it. Obviously, I would. I'm showing off for my friends on the internet. Obviously, I would have Steph Curry on the podcast. That's crazy.
Yeah,
but like, that's not even in my top 10.
I'll say this: I would have anybody on the podcast that's willing to talk about rumors that we've heard about them and address them just straight up. You know what I mean? Like, if we could legitimately unpack some of the things that I've read speculated about Steph Curry, and he wasn't, going to have to protect himself inside of it, he'd be an awesome guest.
I don't even know what those speculations are, but I see by the way that your eyes lit up, they're pretty good.
Yeah, it is pretty cool stuff. I'm curious. Should we say? How did this feel?
I don't think we should say.
Okay, yeah, great.
I don't want to. I want to go to one NBA party. I know that I'm not gonna, but I want to go to one, and I don't want to get punked by NBA players in front of my girl at a party.
Nah, and this will be the clip that goes viral because it'll be like Hannibal doing his fucking Cosby joke that wasn't even gonna be anything. It was just him fucking around, and then
now
suddenly turned into.
I'm at a daiquiri bar in Anaheim, and Glenn Davis wants to beat my ass. Like,
but don't worry, I rap now. No, we love Hannibal. Don't do that. We love Hannibal.
Hannibal got me on. That's how you guys only even know me because of Hannibal.
Yeah, I just want to make sure they're not going to be like, oh, you're making fun of Hannibal. No, that is great.
And also, Hannibal's hilarious. He would get it.
Yeah, that's just silly jokes.
It's been a weird episode.
It has, because we haven't even talked about the conspiracy.
No.
So apparently, this is what is being suggested with the conspiracy. Apparently, 2 to 3 weeks before Bernie Mac passed away, he did a fundraiser for Barack Obama, who was running for president the first time, I believe.
Right.
I think this is his first run as president.
So like a Chicago fundraiser, and I know this is going to derail it a little bit. I have always wondered this because you're from Chicago. Did you guys call that shot early? Because my auntie told me that Barack Obama was going to be the first black president. It must have been like 1999.
Whoa.
She was so, like years before. She was like, this man's going to be the first black president.
You got to remember, I was raised in a Marxist household, so
Oh, that's right. Your dad wasn't telling you calling presidential shots.
Nah, we weren't tracking the game the same way y'all are.
You were, I assume, collecting canned goods for the inevitable downfall.
Yeah, it was just very different energies around like the excitement for Barack Obama.
He was like, the system's going to fail and then this gun will be president. I think it's cool you know how to make your own bullets.
All you need is a dog's tooth. Yeah, no, I wasn't in queue with that, but I could see how people were making that call early. That said, Bernie Mac, who it's suggested in many articles that I read about this, he says he was a big supporter of Barack Obama. He says he was rooting for him long before the presidential run, much like what you're describing, and does a fundraiser for President Obama's like big whatever or like his run. And at the fundraiser does a number of off-color jokes that literally get him sort of like heckled and booed by the audience. That he's like he's being like nasty. Like it's not even like he's like roasting. He's just being Bernie. It sounds like he's talking about, you know, wild Bernie ass jokes.
Yeah.
And
I said, I ain't never had no pumpkin pie.
Yeah, he's just saying Bernie Mac shit.
Yeah, talking about not eating pussy. He's wearing clothes with his face on them.
Yeah, but it's like at an event where it's like $2,000 a plate type shit. And he's talking about, I ain't never ate no pussy. And these audiences are having adverse reactions. And it is suggested that Barack Obama had such an adverse reaction, found it so distasteful that he would make these jokes in the way that he did, besmirching his good name, making it more complicated for his run at presidency, that he then, weeks later, had Bernie Mac assassinated.
Wow. So it's like, it's kind of similar to the Trump origin story with Obama. Like a similar situation of like a public disgrace and then an I'll show you.
Wait, what did Barack do that? Oh, when he called him out at the correspondence.
Yeah. And he was making fun of him. And then
he was like, Donald Trump's here, bitch ass.
And then
white
Trump
boy.
ate that punch and then went on to get shot and take, unfortunately, the coolest picture of all time.
Fucking awesome picture.
Man.
Say, prove us wrong.
Fuck.
Prove us wrong.
That shit had me tight.
This whole Olympics, people have been posting pictures of like Steph throwing lobs to LeBron and fucking crazy, like all sorts of awesome fucking basketball and gymnastics and even ray gun. Yeah, we're seeing these crazy photos. And every time I see a photo, I go, still ain't as good as that Donald Trump.
It was amazing. It looked like a statue. It was like the statue's already done.
Yeah, they're going to bronze the shit out of that and put it in the town square.
Man, thank God Kamala's going to beat him.
Yeah, who knows? Well, yeah.
And if you're interested on who's going to win, come on out to our Start the Steal tour. I'm announcing it in the middle of this episode. Because I've been thinking, I'm like, we got to talk about this tour.
Yeah, we should. We are going on tour. We will talk about it again at the end of the episode, but
That's probably a better time.
We're doing a Start the Steal tour across the country. David and I, once again, taking My Momma Told Me live. So, like, I don't know, come on out. We'll start posting about it soon.
Some bad ones.
Yeah, we're going to some trash places, but mostly
good ones. Good ones.
Yeah. So you hear this
Mm-hmm.
You believe this? You don't believe it? Where are you with this?
It is tough for me
Mm.
because I've always, and there's no reasoning for this. I've always in my heart felt like there was some foul play around the
Right.
Bernie Mac death.
Uh-huh.
It just never sat correctly with me. And as you've mentioned on this podcast more times than I'm comfortable with, Obama kills people.
Obama does kill people.
I think your words were a murderer.
I think that's objectively true, but I'm willing to debate it if some people have different feelings. I think that two things can be true. I think that maybe there is a version of foul play possible. I do think it is extreme as fuck for a person in their presidential run for the first time, the first black president to assassinate arguably the funniest black man in the history of the world.
Whoa,
because
ever?
He made some off-color joke. I think there's an argument to be made. I
think he's top 5. I
think it's hard to name somebody who pound for pound can be funny in more ways than Bernie Mac.
That's true. Because, like, you always want to have, like, the Patrice argument, but he wasn't. It was one note. Not that he wasn't very, but it was.
I think it was an argument for greatest stand-up for Patrice. I think, but pound for pound, just funny in every absolute direction he chose. Bernie Mac's hard to beat, man.
Right, and he wasn't even goofy.
Nope.
That's the difference. Because I think if you're willing to debase yourself, you can really get these laughs off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you got a funny looking body and you're willing to exploit that, they will laugh at you.
Yeah.
And they'll think that you're some kind of comedic genius when you were really just a sad guy, Chris Farley. So, like, I think that was crazy. That was wild.
That was wild. That was a wild thing because now I gotta support you, but I also gotta wrestle with what that feels like that you said that.
As a fat dude, though, you do watch that shit and you're like, oh, I'd have killed myself too. It's like a bummer, you know what I mean? It was very funny, but it's also like, there's a reason I'm not falling through tables out here.
I catch your
I don't
drift.
have the stamina.
You just ain't got it. I do think Bernie Mac could just do everything. He could do movies. He could do TV. You could put him in characters. It didn't matter. My man just had it.
Just his face. He said like 7 words in Bad Santa, and he was the funniest character in the entire movie.
Bro, the movie Life is my favorite comedy.
Where did that even come from? Jangling.
It's so funny. He's the funniest one in there, and he's up with Eddie Murphy and Martin Lawrence.
Yeah. I noticed you didn't say Anthony Anderson and Miguel A. Nunez Jr.
The 4 kings of comedy. the emperors of comedy. Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, Anthony Anderson, and Miguel A. Nunez. Those are the best.
Bro, that's why this podcast is never going to work. I can't believe it's gone this far.
We're just burning bridges left and right. We're never going to get that Nunez bump now. Because
I had just auditioned for Joanna Man 2. And now I know how it's going to go.
I just think Bernie, he was the best. So when I hear that he suddenly dies, of course my brain immediately goes to foul play, or at the very least, mishandlings by medical professionals. Right. I think it's less in my mind of like an assassination and more like, oh, y'all didn't take care of him because of X and X reason, black man, older, fitting a demographic that you would presume should die of this disease, not recognizing what precious commodity you had in your hands.
That's fair. I think that I was very emotional and
Yeah.
and I love connecting two really weird things. So Barack Obama to Bernie Mac's death is like the Super Bowl to me.
It's so funny. When
It's
I read it, I was like, this is psychotic and not true in any way, shape, or fashion, but boy, is it funny.
You know what I would want? And this is weird because I love her. I would want it to have been Michelle whispering in his ear. You gonna let that black nigga talk? This nigga eyes red? You're gonna let in Chicago?
This your house, Barack. This your house. I don't give a fuck if he from here. This your house. You ain't Hawaiian no more, bitch. Get out there and say something.
Do you think that ever comes up, the Hawaiian thing?
All the time.
You think so?
Because she's from the south side. Ain't she from the south side of Chicago?
I'm pretty sure. You're from Chicago.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty sure she's from, and he's from Hawaii. And, you know, I get it. Yeah, he grew up poor. He had a hard life. But, like, I think if I'm her and he started talking trash, I'm not going to let a Hawaiian speak to me that way. You better get the fuck out of here.
They love to fight.
They do love to fight.
Hawaiians. They say, you want scrap? That's what they say. That is. That's what they
say it again.
I don't like it anymore. This podcast, we're never gonna make $1 million, bro.
Nah, man, we're done. We
fucking. Oh man, we gotta change the name to Call Her Daddy or something.
New fan base.
And for the record, I think Chris Farley is very funny. I just think he's also a very sad man.
I think while it is very fun to imagine that this is possible, I don't believe it to be true. In fact, I read a little bit of a transcript, I guess, of what because Bernie did his time, got kind of booed and like left off stage. And then Barack like went up and like tried to be like funny about it. And like kind of being like, now, Bernie, you know, we laugh about these things, but you got to cut that out and cut out all that cussing. He like basically told him to stop cussing.
Told him to pull his pants up?
Yeah, kind of. He like, it was like, this is a family event and you got to stop all that cussing. And, but like tried to giggle it off type shit. So it seemed more like that was what he did. You know what I mean? Like he got it out.
I mean, he's
a
politician, right? That's the diplomatic way to solve that. That makes sense to me as well.
But it also just feels like, oh, you got it out of your system. You made him feel small in front of all your white friends. Like,
right.
You don't.
I don't think you ever have the right to hit a child in the throat or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, you did that, and now it's like, oh, okay, yeah, you don't need to then murder him. You already shamed him.
Yeah, that's fair. Do you think he got anybody?
Barack?
Yeah, personally clipped, not like via the state.
You're right, not just like spray kill.
Like, did he settle any old scores?
Yeah, I think 100%. Yeah.
Do you think every president has?
Yeah, I think so.
Who would be on your list if you were president? If you were president tomorrow?
I can't do this.
Okay, that's fair.
I
did ask you to deflect it from me, even though I'm thinking of the people.
Yeah, I'm sure I'll name some names privately, but we can't do it.
That's a good point. But
I will say,
if you made fun of me at the Boys and Girls Club, better hope I don't run. Better hope I don't run.
Yeah, I think every president, at the very least, has like looked into it. You know what I mean? Like maybe you didn't get them fully clipped, but you made their life worse.
Right. Maybe, like, that's what I would do. Now, all of a sudden, you got fired.
You got fired, or like you constantly are seeing like flashing lights in front of your house late at night.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like firecrackers.
Your taxes triple.
Yeah, weird shit happened to your pipes that is hard to explain.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
how did these rust so fast? And you're like, I don't know. And it's like, oh, because a president hired somebody to just put lithium in your backyard
Right.
until you know what I mean? The shit radiated.
Because you decided to make fun of the one kid who could swim at the swimming event.
It's
maybe it was like, yeah, he laughed at you because you couldn't leave the fucking shallow end. You were like 15. He was 9.
Bro. No way if you're president, you don't take advantage a little bit. So yeah, I do
think
believe
so.
it.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
And I don't blame them.
No,
I think
me
killing somebody because they hurt you is wrong. I think shame on you.
But why does it feel so right?
I think if that's what you have to resort to, then you're wrong and you're mishandling your power. But I think if you are just sort of torturing and or tormenting your childhood enemies, par for the course, baby. You earn that. You earn that spot. You can do what you want up there.
Yep. Yeah. I came up to look down at people. You know what I mean?
And only what 46 of y'all have done it. So I respect that you've done the impossible. You should get to do a little something naughty up there.
I get that.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think we did it. I think we're in agreement. That was good. You want to tell the people where they can find you? What cool shit you got?
Cool Guy Jokes 87 on Instagram. My special is up. It's selling well. Appreciate to everybody for the feedback. You can go and get that at patreon.com/David Gborie. Gborie. I appreciate the feedback. We're still dropping other stuff. And then August 23rd and 24th, I'm going to be at the Dallas Comedy Club in Dallas, Texas.
Oh, yeah. Go watch the special, man. It's so good. I laughed all the way through it. It's fucking hilarious.
Your favorite part was my favorite part, so that's not means you have good taste.
Yeah, it was... It was beautiful. It was such a funny deflection for no reason at all. It's great. You didn't have to do any of that, and it was great. And if you want to see my special, it's out August 20th, which I think this episode will be out after or on the day of, maybe.
Yeah, next Tuesday, right?
If it's next Tuesday. So, yeah, today is the day you can listen. You can go see me be special on Netflix. It's called Bad Poetry. Look it up, motherfuckers. I desperately need you on it right now. And as always, if you want to send us your own drops, your own conspiracy theories, if you want to tell us exactly what Barack Obama used to murder Bernie Mac, send it all to mymommapod@gmail.com. We would love to hear from you. Like, subscribe, buy some merch. Come see us on tour. It's the Start the Steal tour. We're going to be hitting some major markets.
New York, Boston.
Let's go. Come on.
DC. Atlanta. San Francisco.
Yeah, Houston.
Seattle. Chicago.
Dallas. Chicago. Detroit, I believe, if we're still figuring that out. Austin. There's a laundry list of cool places. I think maybe is Nashville on there? Did we have Nashville?
Oh, I hope so.
I can't remember. But anyway, you'll see it all in soon enough. We'll have a big fancy tour announcement, but we would love
very
to
funny
see
flyer
you.
Coming for you.
We would love to see you at one of these live shows. So please come see us at the Start the Steal tour starting, I believe, in early October, I think, or mid-October is when we're maybe our first date.
It's coming.
All right. Yeah.
I can't find the email either.
Okay. Well, we're coming, motherfuckers. So you figure it out and we'll see you out on the road. And that's the whole shebang. Bye, bitch.
I got a little white spot on the bottom of my black shirt because I was getting some coochie.
My Momma Told Me is a production of Will Ferrell's Big Money Players Network and iHeart Podcasts.
Created and hosted by Langston Kerman.
Co-hosted by David Gborie.
Executive produced by Will Ferrell, Hansani, and Olivia Aguilar.
Co-produced by Bay Wang.
Edited and engineered by Justin Conner.
Music by Nick Chambers.
Artwork by Dogon Krieger.
You can now watch episodes of My Momma Told Me on YouTube. Follow at My Momma Told Me and subscribe to our channel.